Are you making adjustments when you retire? I think everybody has to. This is what my video today is going to be about. Different things that we have to adjust when we retire. And sometimes you should start thinking about it even way before you retire. My name's Nancy, and thank you for joining me. The biggest thing that you have to adjust when you retire is money. We all know that, right? You're working full-time, your partner's working full-time, and then all of a sudden you're not. You're on a fixed income. And you have to kind of prepare for that well ahead of time. My husband retired from corrections, and he has a very nice pension, and we both have medical insurance through that, which is wonderful. I retired as a nurse, and I didn't work at one place for long enough to get pensions, but I did have a 401k. I do have an extremely small pension from the first hospital I worked at, but I tried to gear my jobs to be able to be home for my children when I could. Sometimes I would do a weekend only position, things like that. So along with that comes your spending. You are going to want to spend less, or maybe you're going to want to spend more. I know it can be difficult, and you can get stuck in the I'm so bored, I'm going to just scroll through Amazon and order a lot of stuff that way. You can order on TV, or you can get bored of being in the house and just go out to the shops. That's what I do. I go to Home Goods. I love that store. But you have to kind of keep yourself in check. I had my first credit card when I retired at 62. We had joint, of course, credit cards, but this is my own credit card. And I'm proud of myself because I don't have a balance. Every month I pay it off. However, the first little while that I had it, I did run it up a little bit. And then I had to do one of those balance transfers where you have 0% interest rate for 18 months, which I would recommend to anyone. I paid it all off, and it's been about a couple years, and I haven't had a balance ever. So you have to kind of keep yourself in check, more so than when you're working. The other big adjustment could be where you live. You might have a large home that you had a lot of family living in it, and now all of a sudden it's just you or just you and your spouse, and you don't need all that room. And so you might want to downsize, or you might want to just keep it. We downsized to a condo from a house, and for the most part, we're glad we did. We do miss having a yard because now we have grandchildren. It would be nice to have a yard for them to go out in. But a good point is we have a nice pool. They come over and go in that, and we don't have to take care of it. So there's good and bads with both. Somebody close to us once said, you can't live everywhere. And we live in a condo, but we miss certain things about having a house. People that live in a house tell me they would love certain things about a condo. We had that recent snowstorm. We didn't have to do a thing outside. It's all plowed for us. We have a 2-car garage, so we don't have to leave our cars in the driveway. Sorry, I'm sitting next to this fire and it's drying out my throat. Sorry. So there's that. If you do downsize, even if you don't downsize, you need to purge. stuff that you've collected for all the years you've lived in that house. And you might have your adult children's stuff still in the house that they don't even want. So I would suggest donating or keeping what's sentimental to you and keeping what you really need and want. That's what we did. Everything we have in our condo, we either use or we like it. It means something to us. But we didn't keep everything that meant something to us. We had to go through it all. So that's a big job. I would do that when you retire. That's a good retirement activity because you don't want to leave all that for somebody else to have to go through. As far as spending, when I retired, I decided I wasn't going to color my hair anymore, which was a big expense for me. It was about $200 every month. And I didn't want to do that anymore. However, the biggest reason I stopped was I just didn't want to sit there and go through that. It's like an hour and a half where they're putting color on your hair and then you might get highlights and you're just sitting there. To me, it was just felt like such a waste of time. So I stopped that. The other thing is your clothing. If you had a job where you had to dress nicely, that's expensive. You have to go out shopping, you have to pay a lot to dress nice, and you won't have to do that anymore. You can save that money and be comfy. I had dressed in scrubs, so that wasn't too much of an issue for me. Before I retired, I used to get Dunkin' Donuts coffee quite a lot. Now, I just do it when it's a treat. The other day I had to get blood work done and I told myself I'm gonna get a Dunkin' Donuts coffee as a treat, and I hadn't gotten one in several months. I went through the window, there was a lovely older woman working there and she was so friendly, and I said, "How are you doing?" And she said, "Living the dream." And that just brightened my day. Somebody actually nice. A lot of times people are jobs are not fun anymore. A lot of people are not in good moods when they're at work. So another thing that you can do is volunteer. You'll have your hobbies, but you might also want to volunteer, which I hadn't volunteered until I retired, and now I'm part of the Nurse Honor Guard, where we do tributes at nurses' funerals, or they can even still be alive. Maybe they're on hospice and we'll do a living tribute. It's very nice and honoring. It's an honor for me, and we're honoring their nursing career. I've gone to cemeteries, funeral homes, churches, people's personal homes. I even did one at an Indian reservation, and that was really my favorite one. Let's see, what else? Did I talk about adjusting to your spouse or significant other? If you live with someone and you both retire, all of a sudden you're going to be with each other 24/7. So that's an adjustment. Luckily, we like each other and we like being together, but you still, no matter how much you like each other, you still need your own time. Everybody needs your own personal time. My husband's a morning person, so he's up several hours before I get up, so that's his time. And I'm up at night when he's asleep. So that all works out. I do want to say that thank you so much for people who commented to my videos. It meant so much to me. I read every single one, and I'm trying to respond to all of them. But just the fact that somebody would take the time to respond to a video of mine means the world to me, and I can't thank you enough. I want to be part of a community where we're all in this together, but we all do it differently, and I want to know how you do it. What are some of the adjustments you've made? Or, you know, just because it's an adjustment doesn't mean it's a negative thing. You can adjust it for the better. I happen to think retirement is one of my favorite parts of my life. You're able to reflect on your life and go forward with the rest of your life, however you see it and however you'd like it to be. So until we meet again, I will be embracing my retirement, and I hope you will be embracing yours. Thank you.